Breaking news we're following at 6, this time along the shoreline.
It's something that's very important to not just me, but the community. And even though it was dark for 30 years, it's still the memories of what had happened there.
A big break in a case of arson. 2 teenagers are accused of setting a fire that destroyed Stratford's American Shakespeare Festival Theater.
That's where we find Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Matt McFarland live with the Mobile Newsroom and the latest developments tonight. Matt?
Well, Denise and Mark, we're told the 2 teens are also being looked at for 2 other fires in a nearby shoreline town. Here in Stratford, though, as you can see, there is not much left but graded topsoil. But those memories remain. And for plenty of people here in town, the news that 2 teenagers are now facing charges only makes this loss hurt more.
Came by that day to take a look, and yeah, it's a shame, real shame for the town.
And just like the day it burned down, George Gooman once again swung by the old American Shakespeare Festival Theater.
I always hoped that they would catch the perpetrators.
Now Stratford police say they have, arresting 2 local teenagers, charging them with arson, burglary, criminal trespass, reckless endangerment, conspiracy to commit arson, and criminal mischief for their alleged roles in fires and break-ins in town. But this one was by far the biggest. And in West Haven, fire officials there say they believe the cases are connected to February arsons of a vacant home and the old Bilko factory, and that charges there will be pending.
They were 17 when they did this, and you know, what were they thinking? Or maybe they weren't thinking.
Built in the 1950s, the theater, a Connecticut landmark, put Stratford on the map, with famous actors from Katharine Hepburn, James Earl Jones, and Christopher Plummer gracing its stage. It eventually closed in the 1980s, with the state taking over the land and eventually turning it over to Stratford in 2005.
It's devastating. I mean, when you think about it, the good thing is no one was hurt. The bad thing was that there was a lot of destruction, and people were emotionally impacted.
Stratford's mayor says what's most upsetting is the 2 teens accused of setting the fire likely had no idea about the history between the theater and this town and what it once stood for.
In reality, they have no connection to the Shakespeare site, absolutely none. They weren't even born when Shakespeare was running. And outside of it being an empty building, they probably didn't know anything more about it.
Now, the mayor says the town is getting under $2 million from the insurance company. She says once they pay out the contractors for the cleanup, she says they will likely clear $1 million. She says she planned on talking about the insurance at the town council meeting tonight. She says now she'll also be able to address the fact that an arrest has been made. She tells us that the task force that was set up to figure out what they're going to do here at this future spot, they continue to meet. She's saying most likely it will be something to do with the arts and also open space. As for the investigation, that continues, and Stratford police tell us more arrests are likely. We're live with the Mobile Newsroom in Stratford. Matt McFarland, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.